Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and welcome to the Game Exposed podcast. If you guys have a brief question on a narcissist and you want to submit it and have your question answered on the podcast, submit a brief question, you guys, no more than a paragraph because it won't be read. Text your questions to 917-636-1109 and text me your questions, and I'll try to get to as many questions as I can and answer them on the podcast, but please make it brief, no more than a paragraph, okay? 917-636-1109. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and today I'm going to talk about how being around a narcissist or being in a very toxic relationship can cause serious health issues. And what happens is when you're dealing with a narcissist, you're never at peace with this person. And why is that? Because the narcissists themselves are not at peace. So all the toxicity and all the stress and the tension and the anxiety that a narcissist has, they're going to project onto you. Okay, so a narcissist is a very anxious person. They really suffer from anxiety because they never felt like they were enough. They're always feeling empty inside. So although they may not say it and you don't see it on the surface, this is why a lot of narcissists are nervous wrecks. This is why a lot of narcissists are nitpickers and pick on everything, let's say, in the home. It's a matter of control, but it's also a matter of anxiety and stress that the narcissist has, and they're inflicting all of that. They're trying to release it by controlling things. By controlling things is to ease their anxiety. So you always look at the root of the problem. And the problem with narcissists are they're very anxious people. They never felt like they were enough subconsciously. So they have a constant need for control. And what they do is they're going to control their environment and they're going to control you. But in doing this, what happens is narcissists stress you out. If you're living with a very toxic person, maybe you're living with a malignant narcissist who basically you're walking on eggshells, you're afraid of physical violence. Maybe there's someone who punches out the wall or who gets in your face. Or this is going to cause an enormous amount of stress. Or you could be dealing with a covert narcissist who inflicts emotional abuse on you subliminally by, giving you the silent treatment. The silent treatment is emotional abuse, okay? So all of this stress over a period of time is going to cause problems in your health. All right. So what's going to happen is you're going to become, you're going to get anxious yourself. So now all the anxiety that the narcissist has is now going to come onto you. This is why when people leave a narcissistic abuse relationship, they feel an enormous amount of anxiety and depression. This is why they're in therapy. This is why they're getting antidepressants. Because what the narcissist did was they mind fucked you. And by mind fucking you, they created stress. So how do they do that? They do that by gaslighting you, which is another form of emotional abuse. They're not acknowledging the truth. They're causing cognitive dissonance. They're causing confusion in your mind. So now you don't know what's truth and what's not truth because the narcissist is a master manipulator. The goal of the narcissist was to confuse you. And why do they confuse you? Why do they gaslight you? Because number one, they want to get over on you. And number two, they want you to doubt yourself. One of the biggest damaging things of being in a relationship with a narcissist is your own self-doubt. And what does that self-doubt do? It creates low self-esteem. What does low self-esteem do? It creates depression, okay? But when you're in a very stressful situation with a narcissist, let's say you're constantly arguing with a narcissist. This is why you're exhausted as well and you're fatigued, because you're going back and forth. You're pleading your case to the narcissist in hopes that the narcissist validates you or acknowledges what you're saying. And what these toxic, wicked people do is they will never validate you, even when you're speaking the truth. That's why when they gaslight you, the best thing you can do is to disengage and not go back and forth with the narcissist. The minute that you see that they won't acknowledge the truth is the minute that you know you're dealing with a toxic person and you'll never get clarity or transparency from this person. So now, if you don't know these things and you're not aware of narcissistic abuse and you can't spot these things, you're going to be in a cloud. You're going to have brain fog. You're not going to know what's going on and you're going to doubt yourself. And in doubting yourself, it's going to create depression. One of the damaging effects of being in a narcissistic relationship or dealing with a narcissist is that you don't trust yourself. You don't trust your judgment. How do I know? Because I've been through this. And this is one of the things that actually, I had to deal with. I would constantly ask, other people around me, when it came to, like, for instance, my son's medication, it was such an important, decision to make, the medication that I put on him. These were strong medications, antipsychotic medications, or other anti-anxiety medications, because my son is nonverbal autistic. And I would stress out and I would go to people and I would ask them what they thought, because I didn't trust myself, because it was such a big decision. And that's all because I was beaten down over years by being told I'm wrong, I have poor judgment, I was criticized, I was judged, I was put down. So the end result of all that is you don't trust yourself. That's one of the things, that happens, and it affects your mental health. So the bottom line is, you guys, what happens is you become very stressed out. And when you become stressed out, what happens is your cortisol levels will go up, all right? This is the hormone that comes out when you're stressed out. And when you have high cortisol levels, one of the things that could affect your health seriously, all right, over a period of time, is it could affect you in the sense that it could raise your blood pressure. It could give you accelerated aging. This is why a lot of people, after being in a narcissistic relationship, they look like they put on 10, 20, 30 years in a matter of 3 years because of all the stress, all right? And the cortisol levels of that stress throughout your body threw you into, you threw your whole system off, threw your whole immune system off, all right? All of that stress breaks down your immunity, okay? The other serious health issues you could have is a heart attack. You could have gastric ulcers. It could, cause asthma. It could cause diabetes. All of these things are going to affect your body because of these stress levels that you feel. The other thing, too, is you're going to feel depression. Maybe after breaking up with a narcissist, because the narcissist beat you down so bad and making you think that you're the problem, you won't want to get out of bed, okay? You feel like life isn't worth it, living. I've had clients that told me they were suicidal after dealing with a narcissist. This is why narcissists can kill people, because they bring them down to such a low level. Some people don't even have, the will to live, because the narcissist has broke down their self-esteem, their self-worth, their self-value, because they dealt with this toxic person. So the biggest realization that you're going to have when you get out of that narcissistic relationship, and after you've hit rock bottom, and the best thing you could do is educate yourself onto, what a narcissist is and, signs of a narcissist and all of these kind of things. Educate yourself on narcissism and you'll understand why you're feeling this way. And you'll look back on the relationship and you'll say, you know what? This person manipulated me. This person gaslit me. This person tried to make me the problem. They blame shift. And it was all for their own personal benefit to put me down in order to lift themselves up, because the narcissist is, very, very insecure. So they have to, put people down to lift themselves up, okay? So that imbalance of that cortisol, is going to affect a lot of things in the body. It's going to affect your nervous system. It's going to affect your respiratory. It could affect your reproductive system. It could affect, if you're a female, your menstrual periods. When you're very, very depressed and everything like that, your periods may not be on clock. So all of this is because of the overwhelming stress that you incurred because you doubted yourself, because of that brain fog that narcissist inflicted on you, okay? This is why education, knowledge is power. Once you realize that the problem isn't you and the problem is you're dealing with a toxic person, then you will get your power back. Then your system will come back, it will start to come back to being normal again. Another major health issue that could incur on somebody that's lived with a narcissist over years, and I know somebody personally like this, is thyroid issues. You could end up with, hyperthyroidism, where your thyroid goes out of whack, okay? Your thyroid regulates your hormones and it goes out of whack because of all, the imbalance that's going on in your body and the stress that you've endured while, being with this narcissist. I've had clients actually tell me that after they left the narcissist, they went for health checkups and their systems were back to normal. I know people that actually were, and myself included, when I was very stressed out dealing with narcissists, my blood pressure was up. When I wasn't dealing with the narcissist and I was going no contact, all of a sudden my blood pressure went down, okay? Blood pressure is very, very important to keep an eye on. You should always check your blood pressure, just FYI, you guys, all right? Even when you go to a hospital, one of the first things they do when you go into an emergency room is check your blood pressure levels, okay? Because your blood pressure affects a lot of things in the body. When you have high blood pressure, you can end up having a heart attack. You can end up having diabetes. So, you want to keep a check on that just for your own personal reference and your health. So the bottom line is this, you guys, the other thing that I also want to point out when it comes to how, being in a narcissistic relationship affects your health is that one of the other things that you got to keep in mind, what I was going to say is one of the other things you need to keep in mind is that a lot of times when you're dealing with the narcissist, you're not at peace. Like I said, you're walking on eggshells. So, when your mental health is not at peace, it's going to eventually affect your physical health. I've had also people on my social media comment about how they ended up getting cancer and they really feel that it was due to all the stress that they endured with a narcissist, okay? So the narcissist, you have to understand something. Narcissistic people are toxic people. They are not peaceful people. They don't let things go. So when you're dealing with a toxic person, their nervousness, their stress, their anxiety is going to be all laid on you, okay? And you may not think it's a big deal in the beginning, all right? You just feel like, okay, we're arguing, okay, we're not getting along. But over time, it's going to break down your system, break down your immune system. The other thing too is, let's say you're an emotional person and you're constantly crying because you're so frustrated because you're trying so hard to resolve conflict with that narcissist. You're doing everything you can. You're trying to be nice to that narcissist. You're crying and you're depressed and you're trying to, work things out with this person who just doesn't want to see what you're saying. A narcissist only wants to see what they want to see, okay? They don't want to see your point of view because that means they have to acknowledge shame. So this is why I say it's futile to try to resolve conflict with somebody who will not see it from your point of view, okay? But all of that crying, when you cry, the next day, I've known people and I've seen it, even with my children and stuff, when they've been upset or they're crying the next day, they have a runny nose, they're not feeling good, they have a sore throat. Why is that? Because they got themselves upset and now it was starting to affect their physical health, okay? This is why when you get to a point of, you hit rock bottom with the narcissist and you're upset and you're crying or you're screaming or you're shouting or you're getting emotional. You're constantly getting emotional because you're frustrated because this narcissist, is making your life difficult. It's going to affect you internally in your body, okay? And, narcissists, they don't care. They don't care. They want to feel better about themselves and they just want to dump on other people and then they feel better. That's why a narcissist could have a big fight with you. Big fight, all right? Yell, scream, big fight, and they could just turn over and go to sleep. You know why? Because they took all of that anxiousness, all of that anxiety inside of them, all of that bad energy, and they projected it onto you. They got it off their chest, so now they can lay down and go to sleep because they feel better because they got it off them. But guess what? Now that energy is on you, okay? And, I read a book years ago. I can't even recall the name, you guys, because it was like back from, in college and stuff. And I read a book about energy, how people give you a certain energy, all right? And when people give you bad energy, you're going to be filled up with that energy is going to be filled in you. In other words, you may feel depressed, you may feel negative about the world, you may become a pessimist, all right? It takes away all of the good energy when you're around bad energy type of people, okay? That's why they say one bad apple spoils the bunch. So in other words, when you surround yourself with toxic people that are negative, not supporting you, don't make you feel safe, all of this is going to impact you. It impacts you initially, your mental health, and then, your physical health. Mentally, what's going to happen is you're going to be in that brain fog, or you're going to have anxiety. You're going to have depression. Anxiety will lead to depression. You're going to be constantly a fearful person. Why are you fearful? Because you don't have a sense of peace. The narcissist is not giving you peace. They're not accepting you for you, all right? That's why I always say when you get involved with somebody or you're looking to be serious with somebody, make sure they accept you for you. They're not sitting there criticizing, judging you, putting you down. They accept you for you and they can let things go, okay? One of the big red flags that you are dealing with a toxic person is that they're difficult. How do I know? I've been surrounded by difficult people my whole fucking life. That's why I know these narcissists like the back of my hand, all right? And for the longest time, I had that brain fog where I thought I was the problem. I even went to therapy. I tried the antidepressant it did nothing. It did nothing because you're not getting to the root of the problem. The root of the problem is that you're dealing with a toxic person that's poisoning your mind to make you feel that there's something wrong with you. There's nothing the fuck wrong with you if you're speaking the truth and walking in the truth. Period, dot, end of story. So you need to believe in yourself, you need to trust your gut, and you need to regain your power again and see it for what it is, okay? See it for what it is. You know how you know whether you are the problem or not? Whether you are speaking the truth and you are doing the righteous thing. When you do the right thing and you're speaking the truth, then guess what? You're not the fucking problem. The problem is the other person who is trying to make you the problem. And this is exactly what covert narcissists do. They try to make you think you're crazy. They do that reactive abuse and they dismiss you or they smirk at you or they roll their eyes to give you a complex and make you think like there's something wrong with you. You gotta not worry about what these people do. Who gives a shit what they do? Roll your eyes till they fall out the back of your head. The bottom line is you're speaking the truth. You're speaking the facts. And if that person won't acknowledge it, that's their problem. They're toxic. Now I disengage because I'm dealing with somebody who will not acknowledge the truth. Okay? So you got to stay focused. Focus when you deal with these animals, all right? Believe me when I tell you, I deal with them all around the board, okay? I've dealt with them with these arrogant, narcissistic doctors I've had to deal with for my son. I dealt with it with some of the teachers, these specialized teachers that thought they knew better and they didn't, okay? Whereby parents in the autism group knew way more than these psychiatrists or some of these teachers. Why? Because they had real life experience. They saw what worked and what didn't. They didn't just read it in a book, okay? And that's the difference between somebody who really knows narcissism is somebody who has lived it, felt all those emotions, been a victim of it, and has educated and has been able to spot this toxic behavior, okay? So you guys, it's like this. Do not let these people destroy you, destroy your life, and, take away your health. Do not, when you're dealing with somebody, one of the ways you're going to know you're dealing with a narcissist or a toxic person is if they can't resolve conflict and you're speaking the truth. If they can't acknowledge the truth, you are dealing with toxic, all right? And once you realize that, you've got to spot it and you've got to step back and say, not today, Satan. Not today, Satan. Now I don't deal with you because you won't acknowledge the truth. And you are not going to brain fuck me and give me brain fog and give me anxiety and depression and make me feel like I'm the problem. And that's all going to affect my physical health where, God forbid, I get cancer or other health ailments, thyroid problems, stomach ulcers, digestive issues, high blood pressure, heart problems, or stroke or any of this because you have, stressed me out so much that my cortisol levels have gone off the roof and it's affecting my whole immune system. Not today, Satan. This is why you got to go no contact with these demons, all right? Because they'll get on the phone, they'll trigger you, and your whole emotions will be out of whack, and the chemical levels in your body will be out of whack, and it's going to affect your immune system, which is there to fight off disease, all right? You need your immune system to be strong, okay? That means eating right, exercising. Exercise, you guys, is so important, even if it's just a little walk during the day, because it makes you feel so much better. Even one of my children who would get anxious in school and everything like that, once my child started, going to the gym and doing all the things, she was coming back to me and she's like, I don't even need to go to therapy, Ma. Just by exercising, I feel 100 times better. Okay. So Exercise is important, all right? Eating well is important. If you feel, if you're really down in the dumps and you want to go talk to somebody, then get that therapy. That is important, all right? And you guys, meditation is great. Yoga is great. You need things that relax you to come out of all of this mishmash of the narcissist. The longer you are away from the narcissist, going no contact, the stronger you will become. I promise you that. I'm living proof of that. The stronger you will become. And this is what the narcissist fears. This is where they fuck up, because they try to come back after a period of time. And once you've healed, you won't give that narcissist the time of day if you educated yourself and you saw it for what it is. You're going to start to regain your power again and say, you know what? I made a mistake, but that mistake is never going to be happening again. And I will never give you the time of day. You are RIP, okay? And this is the way you got to be. You got to believe in yourself. And the way you believe in yourself is by building yourself up with self-care, making time during your day to do something for yourself, okay? Whether it's, going to the hair salon or the barber or doing something, you need to do things that make you feel good about yourself. You've got to regain your self-confidence after dealing with these toxic demons that try to break you down, okay? So, you guys, I got to go. I hope that helps you understand how damaging these narcissists can be. And, you've got to stay no contact, okay? You're trying to save your life, save yourself from anxiety, depression, stress, and other serious physical health ailments and issues down the road, all right? No contact. All right, you guys, have a great day. Please share the podcast to spread the awareness. The more we spread awareness, the more we destroy the narcissists. Their tricks don't work on people, okay? That's one of the reasons I even started podcasting, was to expose the game, expose the dating and relationship game, how people got hurt, because I said, this isn't right. I'm going to expose this and educate people so that they don't get hurt, because some people were really falling into depression and anxiety and everything like that. So you need to expose it. Share the podcast, and don't forget, follow me or subscribe to me on my YouTube at the Game Exposed Podcast. And if you want to follow my Instagram too, you guys, for more posts, it's the Game EXP123. And have a great day. And I'm losing my voice today. Okay, have a great day, you guys. If you guys are having a problem in your dating or relationship, or you're dealing with somebody maybe that's narcissistic, you don't know if they're a narcissist, or you're just having problems, you're in a toxic relationship and you need some clarity on it, go to the link in the podcast description for my website, where I offer email and phone coaching. If you have a quick question, just a quick question, and you want to get a video sent back to you answering your question, there's also a link there for Vizio, where I will send you a personalized video answering your question. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and I want to tell you about my 2 books on Amazon. The first book is Regain Your Power. It's all about power and relationship. Who has the power in the relationship? And it goes into all of that, okay? The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time, okay? Check it out. It gives you a lot of good clues as to whether you're with somebody who's a real one or somebody who's just going to waste your time. You could read them both with Kindle's free trial membership. So check it out. Link is in the podcast description. Hi, you guys. I just want to let you know that the Game Exposed now has their merchandise available. check out the link in the bio, and you could go check it out. There's cool hoodies, cool sweatpants, cool hats. So go to the bio for the link. And also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook at The Game EXP123, and also on Instagram, The Game EXP123. Okay? And have a great day.